So Hulk Hogan hitting his head and thinking that he's the real Santa Claus is one thing. I could handle that. I could manage that. My brain had the capacity for it. Ed Begley Jr. wanting to take over the local orphanage to find the magic crystals beneath it. That might have broken me.
But there's only one named Hulk.
Well, all you had to do was knock.
Santa with muscles.
There's a new Santa in town, and I know if you've been naughty or nice.
I've watched some terrible Christmas films over the years. I've watched both remakes of Black Christmas. I've watched The Princess Switch 3 Romancing the Star. I've even watched Bone Alone. But Santa with Muscles from 1996 starring Hulk Hogan might take the cake. So Blake Thorne is a bodybuilder and the richest man in 10 states. What? They're in California. He's a bodybuilder is the richest man in California. Okay, no, it doesn't matter. Despite being like a ruthless businessman Scrooge type, he's also like a child in a man's body who just runs around playing paintball with his friends and making the sort of like jokes that only a cartoon villain could make. Not a 6'6" wrestler. Just can't get away with that. Anyway. So one day he's out playing paintball with his friends and the police start chasing him. I think just for speeding. I think they were just going to give him a speeding ticket. And he's so rich it just wouldn't matter. But instead of just getting caught because it just wouldn't matter, he goes on the run, hides in a mall, puts on a Santa Claus outfit, falls down a laundry chute, hits his head, gets amnesia, and believes he is the real Santa Claus. Even though he's fully aware that the beard and the belly aren't real, they're part of the costume he put on. But meanwhile, hear me out, I can get through this. Ed Begley Jr. is a mad scientist who wants to find the magic crystals that have magic properties that are hidden somewhere in the area. He doesn't know which building they're hidden in, even though it's later revealed that he and Hulk Hogan were both actually at this orphanage as children. And that's how he knows about the crystals. Because they're buried under the orphanage. So he's been buying all the land in the area just to try and find where the crystals are buried. And there's only one place left. He's been sending out his torture team to convince people to sell. The torture team consists of a geologist, a chemist, and a female electrician. All of whom seem to have actual superpowers. So he's got to find the crystals to thing. So he sends his team of torture people in an ice cream van to the orphanage. And then Hulk Hogan, Santa, is there. I can't remember why or how. He just turns up. And he stops them. And then he just starts staying at the orphanage with the 3 children that live there. One of whom is Mila Kunis as a child. So then he just befriends the children. Goes up top of the orphanage to the top of the church to fight a guy. An animatronic Santa Claus that's on top of the church knocks him off the church. He falls into a garbage truck, regains his memory. Uh-oh, that's a problem. How's he still going to care about the kids when he's a ruthless, evil business kid that he just does? Santa with Muscles could not be much more horrifying. They blame the elf guy sidekick for letting the bad guys in, even though they literally just watch the bad guys blow down their front door with explosives. They're letting off explosives. Police don't care. But Hulk Hogan driving recklessly, they will literally turn up and fire an RPG at him. The police, when all he's done is reckless driving, fire an RPG at him. And the whole thing, of course, takes place in the blazing sun of California, so it feels extra Christmassy for all of the getting children to mine crystals. Miners. Anyway, I'm giving What You Gonna Do When the Box Office Numbers Come For You, Brother half a star. Like, obviously, like spoilers, but Ed Begley Jr. and Hulk Hogan both went to this orphanage as kids. They revealed that with like 10 minutes left in the film, and then it's like, whoa, I have a connection with him. But he didn't, he had to search every building for like streets around, buy them all, before he figured out which one the crystals were in. He'd seen the door to the weird safe in the orphanage. Okay. Subscribe to save Christmas from this shit.